Hey everybody, it's Brooke from the Junk Parlor. I was kind of smiling and laughing because there's a bird out on our deck, and I don't think birds really bug our dog Bella, which is surprising because everything else bothers her. So we are doing a live every day for May. That was something that I challenged my coaching group, Staging Your Antique Shop, to do. And so I am going to be doing it also. So the last 2 days, I have gone live on my phone using a platform where I can go live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And today I am doing it from the computer. So I don't know if you noticed, oh, Bella's probably going to go psycho. I don't know if you noticed that I thought the coloring on the videos that I did yesterday, I did a little tour of my living room. The day before that, I was just chit chatting as I was getting things ready for my sale on Sunday, May 7th at 7 p.m. I'll do it just like we are doing now. And I just thought the coloring seemed a little bit off. So I'm going to be interested to see how the camera on the computer, like if it makes it look any different or not. Today's subject is going to be about how I came up with my business name and basically kind of like how the Junk Parlor got started. And I should have looked up because, my memory is not very good. And I cannot even remember when I started. So I graduated with an education degree and I taught in Kansas City at Park Hill High School. Then we moved to my hometown of Centerville and I stayed home a few years and then started teaching. And I traveled between Moravia and Centerville, which is kind of weird because I went through seventh grade at Moravia, and then eighth grade through 12th grade, I went to Centerville. So I was teaching at both schools I had attended. My parents' house is literally the road is the dividing line. So if I had grown up in the barn, then that was Centerville side. And where we had moved our old house, the Amish actually picked it up, moved it down the road for us, and then we gutted it. We put it across the road from my parents, and so we were on Centerville School District side. But anyway, I taught at both places. But kind of going back to the origination of the name or how I got started selling, when I first moved to Centerville, I knew in Kansas City that I did not want to teach for 30 years. I had actually gotten my real estate license before we moved. Then Carson died and like everything kind of changed. And when we moved, I didn't really want to do real estate and I didn't really want to teach. So it was kind of like in a town of 5,000, when you're a couple hours away from a large population, what do you do? And so I know a lot of people, when they say how they got started selling vintage antiques junk, it's like, oh, my mom drug me around to auctions all the time or garage sales all the time, or, it's been a generational thing. And for me, it wasn't. It was more just kind of like, how could I make some money and not be in education or do real estate? And so I kind of started brainstorming that. And then things just kind of fell into my lap and jobs opened up. And I was asked to come teach at Centerville and Moravia. And so I went ahead and did that, but at pretty much the same time, I had this epiphany, like I'm going to sell antiques. I'm going to start a booth and I'm going to try and grow my business. And I would say Miss Mustard Seed, if you guys follow her on social media platforms. Oh, my alarm's going off. Or blogging as well. I really was into reading her website and her blogs, and I just loved her aesthetic. I mean, everything she did. She's just a really good writer. So like her personality really came through on her blog. And I had never even really read blogs before that, but I probably was on Pinterest. I saw a pin. I went to the pin and it was on her website. And then probably I became a stalker and I read every blog the girl had ever written. So, and I actually have met her in person. I was helping my friend Marcia at, now I'm not be able to think of the name, Gold Rush Antique Show in Orinoco, Minnesota. And Miss Mustard Seed Marion, she was out and about. And so I was like, oh my God, can I take your picture? Take my picture with you. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, she was selling kind of in a booth, and I think she was maybe setting up at shows. I can't even remember for sure. And I was like, I could do that. Like, I have always loved to decorate, rearrange. I haven't always been like frugal. Like, I don't remember being frugal growing up. Um, or, buying used things to save the planet or anything like that. But I've always loved to decorate. And seeing what she was doing, and she was making money contributing to her family. And I'm like, I could do that because that's something that you could do anywhere. So I kind of started my booth and got back into teaching at the same time. And I had 3 babies. So it was kind of a lot, I would say. But when I decided to start a booth, I had asked my mom about, like, well, I can't think of a name. What name should I come up with? And I am attracted to what I call junk. So I was talking about this actually with Patty. She, I don't know, recently had married Randy, who had been a dealer with his wife. He is widowed. And then Patty kind of just, jumped on board when they got married. And anyway, she was at Brass Armadillo yesterday, and we were kind of just talking about that. And I'm totally losing my train of thought. This is what happens when you're premenopausal, I guess. I don't know. Or just me, because that's how I always am. So anyway, I was talking to Patty. I don't even remember what that point was, but just trying to decide what I wanted to name the business. And oh, that's what it was. She was like, I don't think Randy really sells antiques. He sells junk. But at the time when I started my shop, junk was in. That was like trending. That was a popular term. Everything was junk bonanza, junk stock, junk. And that's my style. Like, I don't like the high end. I mean, they're beautiful, but not realistic for me. I don't like the high end antiques that, you can't have kids around. They're like museum quality. So I like the junkier, rustier, chippy paint kind of stuff. So I thought that I wanted to have the name Junk in um, my business name. And so as I was talking to my mom about it, my dad was a dairy farmer when we grew up. He probably retired when I was in college, or maybe I was already married. And mom had just said, oh, I've always thought about opening, I think she said a quilt shop maybe, or just a shop in my dad's old milking parlor. And I'm like, I love it. So that is how the name, the Junk Parlor, got started. And I always get a lot of compliments on the name. I think a lot of people maybe think parlor, not as in a dairy parlor, but more as in like a home parlor, like what is a home parlor? Like an extra living room, essentially. And so it doesn't matter what they think parlor means, but I do get a lot of compliments on my business name. So I came up with the business name. I got a booth space at a local antique shop. And basically, that closed down not too long after I started. It was in a big house with multiple dealers. It was definitely a good pull or attraction to get people to go to Centerville, Iowa. And after that, then my business just kept transforming. And I talk a lot about my business transformation when I am launching my Staging Your Antique Shop group, my coaching group. But if you guys have any questions, hi, the old so-and-so. So she is a new girl that I've been following on YouTube. And I'm sorry, I can't even think of your first name. But I love it. Her and her husband, the very first video I saw, they were going, I want to say, to an estate sale, and he brought up the fact that he is her lumper. So he loads and unloads and carries. And that's one of the reasons I wish my husband liked to junk and go to flea markets and, uh, hunt for good stuff, because I want him to carry all my crap around, but that hasn't ever happened. So I am stuck doing that all by myself. Susan, I should be able to remember that because that's my mom's name. So maybe that will click in my head. So that's how I got my business name. I can see Susan's comment on YouTube, but if you are on Facebook, I would love for you to just say hi, maybe where you're watching from, because like I said, this is one of my first times. Well, this is literally ever my first time using this platform on the computer. So the last 2 days I practiced on my phone, and I need to kind of decide what I'm going to do when I have my live sale on Sunday. Sorry, Bella, there's somebody going by. If I'm going to try and do it from the computer or stick to my phone, because always in the past when I've done my Facebook sales, I've always used my phone. So plus I would like to see how delayed it is on comments. So let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions about how I started my business, how I came up with the name. Basically, how many years did I teach then in Centerville and Moravia? I became full-time at Centerville and didn't have to travel. OMG, FedEx is here. Not here. They're at my neighbors. My neighbors get packages daily, multiple times a day. And since it's been winter, I haven't gotten boxes from them. But I told them, I said, hey, you guys need to save me all of your boxes so I can ship my stuff using them. But hear her. That's how she was, because they're building a house across from us, right? And when they first came in to do the forms and dig the hole, this was her. So here, Bella, I forgot I had treats. Come here. I literally just carry around now a bowl of treats, so that every time here, she goes psycho or wants to go psycho, I've just been feeding her treats. And really, it's worked pretty good, because normally she would have just barked crazy psycho the entire time. Like, they've been over there right now looking at the house, and she's been totally fine this whole time during the live. But anyway, so I taught at both schools for a while, and then Centerville could hire me full time. And so I did that. And then I finally convinced my husband, hey, you need to let me try and do this junking thing full time. And I finally got everything going really well in Centerville. We moved to Ankeny and pivoted again. But I feel like I'm settling down and everything is going well. So I'm not seeing anything from Facebook. So it would really, really help me out here if somebody that's watching on Facebook would just say the words, hi. You don't even have to say where you're watching from if you don't want to. You can ask me any questions that you want to. No more treats, Bella. I got all of them out of the bowl. But that just helps me on learning how this works on the computer. So, all right, guys, I will be live sometime tomorrow. So make sure you have your bell ring on YouTube, and then you can turn your notifications on for all lives on Facebook. Otherwise, I hope you have a good day. Thank you, Nelda. Thank you, Shelby. Okay, Lana. Hey, haven't seen Lana in a while. Cindy, good. So it's popping all up. So it'll just be interesting during the sale to see if things are on the same time loop, time sequence. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.